Hey, what's going on, guys? Trixoy here. We are back again with another story time. If you haven't watched the last video, I'd highly recommend go take a look at that and then come back to this video. Before we get started with today's story, I'd really appreciate if you guys would like, comment, and subscribe. That would help me out a lot. Thanks. So in today's story, we are going to be talking about the time that I fell off a roof. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Trixoy, how do you fall off a roof? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So first of all, we need to go over the backstory which led up to the event. So this is back, I believe it would have been 2023, during about early spring, maybe late into the winter. I was having a little function over at my place. This was a little bit after the first function that I held in which I got caught. So I had a few of the same people over from the first story time. I believe Kyle and Jordan from the last story were both there, but now also we need to add in my girlfriend at the time was there, her sister, as well as some other friends and acquaintances. So I think there was maybe 6 to 8 of us. It wasn't anything big. And it was a pretty typical night for us. We were hanging out in my garage, doing dumb teenage activities, smoking some grass. I believe we were drinking Spice Captain's Morgans that night too. We had a 2-6 and after this night, that was one of the last times that I drank that shit. Yeah, it did not treat me very well going forward. So yeah, once we were all hanging out, after a while, just sitting in a garage, we want to start getting something going, And back where I used to live in my hometown, I lived up on this hill that was a nice area in town. But if you went further up the hill, there'd be it was a rich area. And a lot of it was still new development. So at the time, they were still constructing all these new houses. We're talking multi-million-dollar homes and stuff. So it was very secured. However, you could literally just walk up and walk past those houses. And the reason why we liked going up there is because there was a very nice view of the city I live in at the top where all the houses were being built. You could see all across, especially at night, with all the city lights. It's a nice place to end the night off. So I can't remember who came up with the idea. I don't think it was me this night, but someone mentioned that, hey, we should go walk up there and go hang out up there, let's get moving. And don't get me wrong, at this time of the year, it was still relatively cold out. We didn't have any snow on the ground or anything, but it was cold and wet. So we all got bundled up and we made the trek up the hill. So it was probably a 10, 15 minute walk from the place we were at, my house. So we made the walk up there. And then, like I said, we just started by just, sitting at the lookout and looking at the view. And then we decided that we want to just go explore because, there was all these houses that were getting built. You find some cool stuff in construction sites sometimes. And don't get me wrong, do not visit construction sites. It is not legal. So that is considered trespassing. So me and my friends are very fortunate that nothing came of it, at least at this time. There will be a story time going forward about a few close calls we had, that's for sure. Anyways, so yeah, we were going just house to house, just checking them out. And, it was pretty cool because it was all the framing was done and stuff. All the foundation was up, but none of the electrical was in, none of the plumbing. So you could walk around these places and when it's pitch black, you can't really see what's going on. So we were walking about, and I think some more of our friends met up with us up there. I don't know. It was a teenage hotspot. A lot of teenagers in that area would always go up there and do dumb shit. So that's why it led to the neighbors that were actually living up there at the time not really liking us so much. So I remember, at this time, we made it up to this one place. And we were on the second or third floor, and it was dark and wet outside, and everyone was just jumping down from the second floor balcony to this little gravel mound. Now, it was probably if you just made the jump, it was probably about a 7-foot drop. But if you didn't make that jump, you would have fell it was probably 9 or 10 feet. It was not no little drop. So a few of the guys were jumping over right away. And now, I'm not the most athletic guy. And I wasn't really like feeling that jump. So I thought it would be a great idea to just try to climb down. So as I was climbing down this balcony, and this is going towards the 10-foot drop, I don't know why I thought it would be a good idea to try and climb down and not just jump it. But as I was climbing down, because it was wet, my fingers slipped right off the side, and I proceeded to just fall. There was nothing stopping me. I fell directly into the pitch black. There was no lights. You couldn't see anything. And luckily, I landed on my feet. However, because I was wearing Air Force Ones at the time, I don't know if you guys know, but they have those heels are a little, like, the sole is pretty thick. And because of that, on my right foot, I landed kind of sideways, and that did not feel very good. Now, going down that way, it was probably only now like a 6-foot drop opposed to the full 10 feet because my body was hanging off the side, and then I fell. So at least it wasn't as big as the actual full drop, but still, I'm not a very light dude, so falling at that height was quite a bit of weight to go on the side of my ankle. Now, luckily, I didn't break it, but I could not stand up. I could not stand up on my own. I was stuck there. So a few of my friends, they hopped over and they came and helped me up. But I could not walk. I had too much to drink. I was a little stoned. My fucking foot was killing me. So sure enough, I had to call my fucking dad to come and pick me up because there's no way I could make it down that hill because like I said, it was like a 10-15 minute walk to my house, and we're all drunk. There's no chance that my two buddies could carry me all the way back that were helping me out. So my dad ended up coming by. He picked me up. I think my girlfriend and her sister hopped in with me too, and we ended up going back to my house. But the thing is it was only like midnight by this time, and I was still trying to keep the function going. So I got home, and immediately I sat on the couch and put my foot up, and my dad was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, he gave me a bit of a lecture, don't get me wrong. Like, he wasn't mad. He was just like telling me that I was fucking stupid, which is fair. And yeah, so after he gave me a lecture, he just told me to try and shut things down. However, I told him, no, I want my buddies, they want to come back. So sure enough, I text all my friends and tell them, get back to my crib. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep having a night. So I get everybody to come over still. And after making that fall, I wasn't in great shape. They all were like concerned, but I was like, yeah, I'm chilling. And yeah, we just kept on having a night together. I think it shut down by around 2 a.m. Everyone went home. I'm pretty sure like my girlfriends ended up spending the night, and a couple buddies did too. But yeah, no. And then the next day I woke up and my ankle was sore, but I ended up making it through, I'm surprised I didn't sprain it or break it. I was pretty lucky, I'll tell you that. I was pretty lucky. So yeah, that was one of the times that we went up to that place and got up to no good. There's definitely some more times about when we were up there where we had a few close calls with the police. But no, we'll get more into that. There is going to be a follow-up video to kind of go with this story about what happened the weekend after this. And let's just say that time I didn't hurt myself. However, I almost got arrested. But no, we'll get more into that on the next story time. Anyways, I hope that you all made it to the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you'd like any video suggestion ideas, just let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, anyways, thank you for watching today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Trixoy out.